On the Survival Show today, ARK's latest community crunch and the sneak peek into the future with ASA, Ark Survival Ascended. What's going on with Rooted, one of the most wish-listed survival games incoming. Its alpha's meant to have started this month. Looks like there's a delay. And happenings with Valheim and The Long Dark, both having issues at the moment in different ways. The Long Dark seemingly can't keep to its DLC schedule that it promised, and Valheim is still having substantial issues on Xbox. When are the fixes going to come? All that and the briefest of rundowns of everything you might have missed in survival this week, including new releases and some survival shows. Help me out, do whack a like on it if you find any of this information useful. Let's go, it's the Survival Show. The latest ARK Community Crunch has shown off indeed some brand new building structures, and this is going to be part of ARK Survival Evolved 2, not the upcoming remaster. They've been switching it around a little bit with the Community Crunch, showing stuff that would be coming to the sequel and now to the remaster. But this week it is the sequel. Showcase your architectural prowess in a whole new light. This preview of a wooden tier set offers a glimpse into a collection of player builds, showcasing just a few myriad ways you can put your creativity to the test in ARK 2's new building system. I mean, it looks pretty nice, I've got to say. It looks interesting. Of course, once PvP players get their hands on this, expect to see more just boring long-ass towers with as many primitive arrow turrets as they can get on it. It does look like you will be able to customise and add more colour in different ways, almost bamboo-like here in this shot, and supposedly representation of actual custom player builds. We get to see some more dinosaurs that will be reappearing in the sequel, but bear in mind this is all of course still just concept. There will be no showing of the sequel's gameplay until next year. So yeah, interesting for sure, but just like everyone else, we want to see more. And that is pretty much it, other than a little tribute to a ARK modder known in the community, Holger Hulk Geisler. Sadly passed away this week. It does look like it's going to be a dry couple months with only these concept shots of either ARK 2 or the remaster until its actual supposed release in August. Invariably though, expect to see an Xbox gameplay showcase highlighting what's coming with ARK in the future. I'm fully expecting to see the remaster gameplay trailer or something like that shown off on the 8th of June or around that time when the big summer shows begin. Player numbers are starting to drop on ARK Survival Evolved, but not as big as you might imagine. Certainly the reviews are still going on a downward spiral. You surely can't have missed it with the amount of hate bait YouTubers also jumping on this bandwagon now, talking about 90 creators and players kicked from official servers because they were beating the CEO of the company that owns ARK. It's the same old story. Every good bit of thing that gets shown is always tampered by some sort of negative with ARK Survival Evolved. Rooted, that game that very much looked like it ripped off The Last of Us, but it's going to be a proper survival open world experience, has been going steadily well. It hit its goals, it's like got hundreds of thousands of wish lists on Steam, and they've just put up their alpha roadmap. It's pretty snazzy, very good with the marketing. Let's just hope there's actually a game underneath it coming to the fore. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of jaded with a lot of these types of games, promising so much like Dead Matter or The Day Before, and maybe never actually releasing or giving us what we want. But I can appreciate a dev giving us a glimpse into the future and how they're building out their game. You get the idea by now, surviving in a post-apocalyptic world as a solo player or with friends with PvP enabled. There's going to be base building, lots of looting and gathering resources as you try and, I guess, make a way and survive. I may be jaded, but as I said, so many of you guys have been wishlisting it like mad. It seems the satisfaction in having something like this actually work and be what we want it to be is still very high, despite the failures of previous attempts by other games. As you might expect though, their first alpha that was scheduled to go live in May has now been put back to the end of June. For more details of what that first alpha will entail, you can check out that roam-up as I showed off. But yeah, Rooted won't be here in a playable state for backers until June now. Long Dark, a cult classic, well actually more than that, it's sold millions of copies and is one of the first wave of big survival games alongside ARK Survival Evolved, Rust and DayZ. It's had trouble development, it's still running behind on its episodic content that's meant to have come with the original game, and that has been spread out over a number of years now, with the last one, episode 5, not scheduled until next year. But last year the devs announced plans to add more content for survival, and this would come in the form of kind of like a battle pass where you would get drops every 8 to 10 weeks with new content if you're just a survival fan and you didn't really care about the story. They also separated the game and made it that you could buy the game completely with the story content and the upcoming DLC packs. You could buy just the survival mode, and I do believe you could just buy the story mode. Either way, things haven't worked out well. The creator has listed a detailed blog talking about the problems and issues, and now they're going to be trying to fix it. After taking a small hiatus to get their head around what they need to do, he's going to be hands-on with his project after taking some time off to follow other projects. Long Dark has been incredibly good and successful. Lots of their players are really happy with it, and despite the long gaps in between its episodic content, people kind of view it like seasons of their favourite TV show, and it does offer substantial hours. These episodes often are around 10 to 12 hours of story gameplay alone, alongside the free content that is also still being dropped. But I've pointed out a few times in the past, how long can you give a game developer to come up with the goods? The original release of this was like back in 2017. 6 years, 7 years by the time that last story episode content goes through. It's a long time. They've done things ethically and they're pretty proud of the fact they're not owned by a publisher, but it does mean they have to really think more carefully about the money that comes in and out. But honestly, despite some minor criticisms from me, they're still doing a much better job than other fellow games like Conan Exiles or indeed ARK Survival Evolved with their monetization. I've probably been a bit overly harsh and maybe obviously ambitious in getting this DLC content out every 8 to 10 weeks, but it does look like they're going to be ramping up to try and deliver the rest of it on time for the rest of the year. But this May's batch won't be here. Like I said, they're going to take a little break, and then it looks like it won't be done until maybe June. They've also realised that hotfixing a lot of stuff hasn't really worked out. Players on Switch have been waiting for this DLC pack sort of battle pass to arrive. It doesn't look like that will be the case until next year also. Had any of this caught your attention in the last year? When was the last time you booted up Long Dark? Let me know in the comment section down below. Valheim has not had the best of times on Xbox. It seems with the port job that they did, there was a number of issues in basically saving your data. And despite many attempts to fix it since it launched into game preview, I've got to say the results have been pretty underwhelming. It's a given that sometimes you can have issues and problems, but the one thing I can't stand in games, even early access, is if they crash or you lose data. Put up with visual bugs, put up with progression blocking bugs sometimes, but being able to boot up the game reliably and have the content that you play is one of the biggest things that used to annoy me with ARK in early access, especially on Xbox and PlayStation, that frequently we would lose our worlds and stuff. So I totally understand why people are so maybe upset with Valheim. It's an amazing game, it works really well, but comment after comment on my videos, so many of you are disgruntled that the game just isn't saving your worlds after a certain point. It does look like though they are again once about to hopefully get that resolved. They've got a beta test running at the moment on their public test servers, and it does look like it will be hitting the Xbox PTB or the Xbox Insider program very soon. They really though want to make sure that you are making backup copies, and if you're going to try this new public Xbox Insider program test version of Valheim, be warned, there could be substantial issues in your game being either saved or not. This patch went live a few days ago and I was kind of hoping to see if it would hit the Xbox before doing a news video, but it's made it to Friday and as far as I know it hasn't just yet, so it looks like it will be coming early next week. So you don't have to panic if you're playing Valheim on Xbox or regular Steam. This only affects people on the Xbox Insider program or the public test branch. So you have to literally opt into that by choice. It'll have lots of optimizations for many underlying systems of the game to improve the in-game performance for both small and large worlds, network performance, load times, and to drastically decrease save file sizes. We hope these changes will be a significant improvement for some of you. This does mean that some of these problems are going to be extra prone to having more bugs and stuff that they haven't found. So they really want you to join the Discord and actually really help them out or fill out a form. So yes, if you're on Steam and taking part in this, I'm sure by now you know to make backups. On Xbox, it's a little bit more difficult, but there are or should be a way that you can save your data. I don't know if the old-fashioned way of putting it on a USB stick still works, but that might be something you want to consider and maybe not rely on the cloud. They're also going to be having UI scaling to the settings on Xbox so you can change the size, and you'll now be able to restore world saves that have become corrupt. So that's the big fix there that I see hopefully helping out Xbox players. Lots of other stuff there, but honestly, it's not exactly sexy. It is purely about performance, this little update. So yes, I will still continue to defend it. The Valheim devs are some of the best and most genuine devs I've come across, and the port teams they've got going for this game are working their best. I think it probably has took a bit of shine off Valheim, maybe not hitting the heights I thought it would on Xbox, but I wager it's still going to get more popular and popular, especially when we come to the next updates, and hopefully all these issues resolved, everyone will be able to enjoy the Hilda's quest line, which I'm guessing is going to end up launching later on this summer, as Valheim have a midsummer kind of celebration event happening in game. As soon as we get news of that, or any news about the Xbox Live on the Xbox Insider program, or the full update going live for everyone, I'll let you know. But yeah, that's the situation with Valheim. Work in progress at the moment. Zin's gloomrot is here and it's setting records. Well, certainly concurrent player records for a long time. 50,000 players have returned at any one peak so far. I'm sure that number's going to go up even higher this weekend. Seems to be a big hit with players who are really enjoying the new combat, ton of new bosses and basically new ways to play. It is the first major update for vrising since its release, and it has taken over a year to actually get here. So what do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. But absolutely, it's looking like a lot of creators are playing this and a lot of you guys are enjoying it. Did you catch my survival show taking a look at Lost Skies? It's a brand new co-op PvE survival game that's going to be hopefully coming out maybe next year, but looking likely to have some sort of beta or testing later on towards the end of this year. It's made by the people that made Worlds Adrift, and this is their spiritual successor. No longer an MMO though, strictly 1 to 6 player. Not much gameplay on show, just this fancy animated trailer and a small snippet of some more CGI alongside some screenshots, but it does look like a big mix of a loft versus maybe Forever Skies. Build your airships, go ahead and use grappling hooks and gliders to fight air pirates and more as you discover new islands, get new resources. More details about Lost Skies, check out that video, and that is it. That's the end of the survival show. Until next time, rat bags, I'll see you later.